श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। The culmination of the fruit of Karma Yoga comes in this important verse, which is in verse number 46. Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam sva. Shall we chant together or you want to follow? Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavah. Before that it was mentioned, स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः. 43 or 40, 45 only. It's mentioned just before. स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः. स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः means being engaged in one's action, swadharma, swakarma, without swaying. That's why it says स्वे स्वे कर्मणि Abhiratha. Without swaying, one is engaged in what one has to do, because you can't sit quietly, you have to do something. And there are some God-given talents, certain God-given talents are there, and then you have to, based on those talents and based on what comes easily, you have to make a living, you have to do some work, you can't sit idly. So may as well do whatever it is that has come your way, may as well do whatever it is that is you are good at, may as well do whatever it is you don't think you are good at, but you are placed in that situation. May as well do whatever, wherever you are placed, even though you hate every minute of it. Because the problem is not that you are mismatched with your action, with your job. The problem is the mind is mismatched. The mind has to have a revolution. The antahkarana and the ego has to be convinced that I am towards moksha. I don't want anything other than moksha. So the work I do in my life, my swadharma, is for what? Not to gain name, not to gain fame, not to gain followers, not to gain any other kind of accolades. My swadharma is for my own self-growth. And this is what is told in this beautiful verse, which sums up the entire teaching of the whole Gita. In the first line there is the vision. In the second line there is the way of life. There are a few verses like this in the Bhagavad Gita. The 29th verse of the 7th chapter is also like that. You can look at that, and then that also has the same kind of combination with the vision and the way of life given in one single verse. Such verses are seen as Shubha, very auspicious. Rarely do they come across. And so, in this verse, what is there? In this verse, it is said, the first line is unfolding Bhagavan, Ishvara. And what is the first line? Yataha pravrittihi bhutanam. Yataha, yasmat karanat, from whom, from which causeless cause. Pravrittihi, the production of all the bhutas, all the beings. Who is responsible as Jagat Karanam for the creation of the 5 elements and the elementals. All the bodies, mind, sense complexes come from whom? And by whom, by which Chaitanya, this whole entire universe is pervaded. So, yatah pravrittir bhutana yena sarvam idam tatam. And so, this is the vision. This is the vision of no division, that this whole universe is nothing but Ishvara. This is what I have to discover. How do I discover? Indirectly through Karma Yoga, and that Karma Yoga is described in the way of life is described in the second line. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya. Worshipping this Bhagavan with my own karma. So, when you do Archana in the temple, one flower, one name. You do that. Om Shivaya Namaha, Om Maheshwaraya Namaha, one flower. Here, instead of the flower, each flower is what? My job well done. My well done job is the offering, is the very puja. There is no other puja that is needed, or if this puja is done well. So that means what? I have to stop hating where I have been placed in my life. I have to stop hating my antecedents. I have to stop hating my background. I have to make peace with whatever it is that I have to do. I have to learn to love what is it that I have to do. And so that is where the self-growth is. The resistance melts away. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya. And also, I cannot be a dirgha sutri. What is dirgha sutri? We saw that yesterday. Procrastinator. Big time procrastinator. Today's job I will do in my next birth. Yeah, no, tomorrow is too quick. Yeah, in my next birth I will do what I am supposed to do today. So this way, that procrastination and all doesn't give the effect of the work being offered as puja. So if the work is offered as puja, it has to be fresh, it has to be offered cheerfully, it has to be offered right then, right there. And so, without rancor, without grudges, without resentment, because I have to keep reminding myself, no matter how much I hate this, this is not trying to keep me down. I am wanting moksha, I am preparing myself for moksha. A question can arise, what if I am deluding myself? What if the job is oppressive? What if a relationship is abusive, oppressive? So staying in this abusive relationship, working on this abusive job, am I not becoming a doormat, and instead of growing, lending myself for exploitation? That is where we have to pray for Viveka. We have to be able to, we have to cultivate the ability to distinguish between garden variety annoyances, disturbances, and outright abuse and exploitation, whether it's in the relationship or whether it's in the workforce. We have to distinguish between the two. And if it is truly an exploitative or a terrible situation, nobody says you have to, even Bhagavan will say, get out of there. Why are you here? It's healthy to get out of there. But our problem is what? We don't have this proper healthy thinking. Either we go all way, one way, or the other way. It is this extremist thinking, and that is what has to be brought in the middle. We pray for Viveka, we pray for the thing to change, and if truly I am not able to do this after trying, not like, okay, I have stayed one day in the job and I find it intolerable. No. After staying there for some time and seeing that nothing else is changing, seeing that I am also stagnating, I am not growing as a result, then we know it is time to make a move. That move is not considered done out of a whimsy of raga and dvesha. So that move is excluded from this discussion. Here is a foolproof discussion, for foolproof teaching on how to grow doing what one has to do. It is just a very, very nice thing. And then having wrapped up the Karma Yoga section, Bhagavan goes to Jnana. The Jnana section is also very beautiful. And to sum it up, first is the first, it will come in 51, 52, 53. Buddhya vishuddhaya yuktah dhrityatmanah niyamya cha shabdadin vishayan tyaktva ragadveshau vyudasya cha vivikta sevi laghvashi yatavakkaya manasah dhyana yoga parah nityam vairagyam samupashritah ahankara balam darpam कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तः ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. This is both the sadhana for jnana yoga, how to get this knowledge. This is not only a practice for that, this is also the culmination of karma yoga. What one has accomplished, what does antahkarana shuddhi look like? So the mind is clear, vishuddhaha, and it has a firm resolve, dhrityatmanah. The person is of firm resolve, and then the person has come out of ragadvesha. The person is vivikta sevi. Vivikta sevi means looks for vijana pradesha. Doesn't always go where there are people. Looks for solitary places. Laghvashi. Laghu ashanam yasya. The one who eats not all the time and not too much. So, eats as much as is needed. Laghvashi is pleased with small meals. And yatavakkaya manasah, straightforwardness. Dhyana yoga paraha is able to sit in meditation, and then one who has taken recourse to vairagya, and where ahankara, all these things are under check. And then that person is Brahma Bhutah, means as good as Brahman. All that is needed is the teaching. And Brahma Bhutah, Prasannatma, cheerful. And then Nashochati Nakangshati. And then it does not keep expecting things, does not keep longing for things, does not feel regret about not having anything. Samaha sarva bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. And so this person is totally connected to the Vedanta Shastra, and then sees Sarvatma in everything, sees oneself in everything, as everybody, and then has gains this vision of oneness. And likewise, through what? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, all three are discussed in this section. And so this section concludes in 58 by saying, Machchitta sarva durgani matprasadat tarishyasi. With my grace, all the difficulties and obstacles you will overcome. So, अथ चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनक्ष्यसि. If because of your ahankara you are not listening to what I say, what is Krishna saying? Don't say, oh, don't expect me to summarize all this. No. What has Krishna been saying from chapter 2 onwards to Arjuna? So if you don't listen to this Upadesha, which says what? Get up, go fight, vinankshasi, you are inviting destruction on yourself. After all this, after hearing all this, after seeing, and I have given you a special customized lecture on what? Swadharma, Swakarma. And still you are hesitating, still you are not going to do this. Suit yourself. He's going to say suit yourself later, but then right now he says you will destroy yourself. Yad ahankaram ashritya na yotsye iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayahate prakritistvam niyokshasi. So because of ahankara, if you make the decision, I will not fight. I have been steadfast from chapter 1. I am not going to fight. Sorry if your chapters got wasted. Here, have a glass of juice. Your throat must be parched from all this teaching. But I am not going to fight. I am not going to fight at all. And so, if that is your resolve, then mithya esha vyavahara. Your decision is what? False. Mrisha. Mithya. Your decision is as good as not a decision. And then, not only that, this prarabdha, there are two things operating. One is what? Your own swadharma. What are you? Warrior. So your own swadharma of being a warrior is there, and then your swakarma means according to prarabdha, you are supposed to do a few things in life. And this war is part of your duty, part of your prarabdha. If you avoid this war, it will come in a different way. And your own disposition will make you fight. And the next time the war comes around, you may not be so lucky. Maybe you are on the wrong side of dharma. Who knows what may happen? Maybe it won't be a dharmic war. Maybe you will be on the wrong side of dharma. And so, but your swabhava will impel you to fight. And so, better take the opportunity that is there at hand, because this opportunity will not keep coming in order where you can complete your duties. So, and the same thing is said also in the 60th verse also. And then 61st verse is important. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddesherjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Hriddeshe, in the buddhi of everybody, Bhagavan is sitting. And the presence of this Bhagavan is causing everything to revolve, everything to move. The karmendriyas, the jnanendriyas, the manas, everything. And like as though it was yantra rudhani, like the what is that called? Merry-go-round. Merry-go-round has one plate, one platform, round shape it is, and then there will all be some horses and buffaloes and other animals will be there around. The children will sit, and then what will happen? There is a yantra under it, and then the person, after everybody has sat and belted themselves, the person will click the switch on and the merry-go-round goes round and round. This is what Bhagavan is doing as what? Shrotrasya shrotram, chakshushash chakshuhu, vachoha vacham, saupranasya pranaha. We studied in the Kenopanishad as the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind. As that which blesses the eyes to see, as that animating principle, Satchidananda, that which is the only source of existence, the only source of sentience, and that which is limitlessly existent and limitlessly sentient. This Bhagavan is where? This Bhagavan is in the buddhi, in the heart, in the buddhi, as though being the mastermind of making everything within the body and outside in other bodies too move. We must not have a wrong interpretation of this verse and think, okay, Bhagavan is the controller and I am the puppet. No, we have to understand what this Bhagavan is. That Bhagavan sitting in the buddhi cannot be outside or other than your own Chaitanya, your own sentiency. You are that Satchidananda, and that Satchidananda, that Ishvara alone is in charge of everything. When Pujya Swamiji was about to pass away, no strength in his body, no energy to speak even. He was speaking in whispers. Still people wanted him to talk. Still people wanted him to say some things. Either something special for them or a general teaching. So one person asked, if you had to choose one verse from the whole Bhagavad Gita, what would you choose? And Swamiji thought about it with eyes closed for so long that we thought the answer is not going to come at all, that he decided not to answer. Then he quoted this verse. He said every verse in the Bhagavad Gita is to be written in gold letters. Every verse is important, but since you are asking me to pick and choose one, internalize the meaning of this verse. This verse is therefore very important. Even otherwise it's important, but it has a close resonance to us because it was the parting gift of the Guru. The parting gift of the Guru to humanity. Very beautiful verse. And so yantrarudhani mayaya, because of the Maya Shakti, like the magic, because of the magic power called Maya Shakti, like the horses mounted on a moving platform, everything seems to move in order. And then therefore what? Surrender to that intelligence, surrender to that Ishvara in the form of whose essential nature is Satchidananda. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Because of the prasada of this sharanagati, you will gain this knowledge and you will have eternal peace. And then he said, and then finally in verse number 66 he says, itite jnanam akyatam. This jnanam, Brahma Vidya, has been given to you in full, totally, without anything, asheshataha vyakyatam. And what kind of jnanam? Guhyat guhyataram maya te jnanam akyatam. By me unto you, this most sacred knowledge, the most secretive knowledge has all been given. Vimrishya. Please take note of this. Discriminate. Vimrishya. Etat. Vimrishya etat. And then you do this viveka, discriminate what I have said. What is it you discriminate? How to discriminate? Asheshena. Thoroughly discriminate, thoroughly use your viveka to see how this knowledge applies to you. And then what? Here is a free ticket. What is the free ticket? Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. As you wish you do, I will take whatever your decision is. Very beautiful. It's not said in the parental scolding tone. You never listen to me. Do whatever you want now. No. It is said with Bhagavan's dispassion. No micromanagement, no anger, no nothing. Just factual. No difficulty at all. And then this is how yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. As you need, you do that. And then a few more teachings are given. And then the same verse which came at the end of chapter 9 and at the end of chapter 10 is also coming here with a little bit of a twist, which shows us how important it is. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mameva eshyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Pratijane priyosi me, here this verse comes in the form of a promise. Make your life Ishvara centric. This is the whole purport of the Bhagavad Gita. This is the starting point and the middle point and the ending point also. Make your life Ishvara centric. And by what? By using this as an altar of internal, emotional and mental maturity, internal growth, mental growth, emotional growth. Use this as an altar of growth. And when you use this as an altar of growth, all the disappointments, pains and sorrow, I will absorb. You don't have to absorb. I will absorb the pains and sorrows in the form of your prayer. It will be answered. I will do everything for you. You don't have to do the decisions are not yours. You live under the flow which is Ishvara. You don't have your own agenda at all. You don't have your own agenda. You live in the flow of Bhagavan. And so, Manmana Bhava, be the one whose mind is completely offered to me. Madbhakto Bhava. Madbhakto Bhava means let your first and foremost identity be as my devotee. A devotee of Bhagavan is a very wonderful identity. All other identities are temporary and they can be knocked off. Supposing one has one has an identity like what? I am the richest person in the whole world. Next year what happens? Somebody else takes away that identity. But if you say I am a bhakta, that identity can never be taken away by anybody, and also all the roles you fulfill become easy. How? Because it's the devotee who becomes the son or the daughter. I am the devotee son, I am the devotee daughter, I am the devotee sister, I am the devotee brother, I am the devotee friend, I am the devotee spouse, I am the devotee mother, I am the devotee father. The devotee is unshakable. Children may leave you, and then what are you? Then you wonder, oh, I am a mother, but the children are not around. They have left, empty nest. So children may leave you, but then you are lonely. And then, but if you say, I am a devotee mother, Bhagavan never leaves. The devotee is a fixed identity from which to navigate all the various identities in samsara. So therefore, this is a very important verse also because it has come three times. 3 times it has come in the Bhagavad Gita. So it is definitely worth memorizing and worth living by its decree. And so if you are a devotee and then you become a mother or a father or an employer or an employee or a neighbor or a friend, then you are insulated. How? Because there is inner space between you and the role. And that inner space between you and the role ensures that the problems of the role belong to who? The role. The problems of the role do not roll on to you. This is very important. The problems belong to the role. Yes, being a parent is difficult. In any condition, in any yuga, it's a difficult role. You can acknowledge that. Bringing up children, difficult. And what is that, being in a marriage, difficult. Because you have to adjust to one more ahankara. You can barely adjust to your own ahankara. And in an Indian marriage, you are not just marrying the person, you are marrying the entire village of the extended family. So, you have to adjust to so many people. Both the man and the women have to do it. It's not only that the women has to do. Man also has to adjust, woman also has to adjust. And so, this is the situation. This is what is the understanding, the truth of this whole teaching is that lead a God-centric life. And Ishvara-centric life is safe because actually your life is already Ishvara-centric. Why? Because you are the center. You are the Ishvara, you are the center that you seek. So therefore, if you make your life Ishvara-centric, the travails and troubles of the role are confined to the role. Confined to the role. They don't spill over to the person because the person is given over to Bhagavan. The person is just nothing other than devotee. So that devotee identity, you replace all other identities. I am a man, I am a woman, I am this, I am that, I am brahmachari, I am sannyasi. All this you replace with what? I am bhakta. Then things start to look very, very easy. And then he is told, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja ahantva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Where have we heard this? Dining hall. Yes, very good answer. Dining hall, we have heard this and we keep hearing this every day. Here dharma means karma. Sarva karmani parityajya. Giving up all actions, all kinds of this I like, this I don't like, all this I have to get, this I have not yet got, all this. Make me the center of your life, make Bhagavan the center of your life. And what do I promise in return? I promise that I will release you from all karmas. That's what, that's what I promise. Very beautiful 2 verses of promise. And then, idam te na atapaskaya na abhaktaya kadachana na cha ashrusha vevachyam na cha mam yo abhyasuyati. Now again, just like the Mundakopanishad, the Bhagavad Gita also should not be taught to certain people. It should never to be taught to the one without any shamadama and to the one who has no devotion, to the one who is not willing to listen. You say, yataf pravrittir bhutanam, and the other person goes like this. So better not to teach the person who is closed their ears literally or figuratively. If they are not interested, don't go trying to give them this jnanam. And then and the one who finds fault in Bhagavan all the time, railing and ranting at Bhagavan, complaining all the time. And then he says that 2 kinds of people are very dear to me in the next 2 verses. 2 kinds of people are very dear to me. The one who, in the next few verses, not 2 verses, sorry, the person who teaches this knowledge is very dear to me. The one who teaches Bhagavad Gita is extremely dear to me. Why? Because Madvachanam, my words, are being disseminated to a lot of people. So I am very happy when the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita happens. I am very happy. And then when am I also happy? When somebody is studying the Bhagavad Gita, when there are students of the Bhagavad Gita also, I am very happy because again these words which are so sacred are being assimilated. And then finally Arjuna speaks in 73. Arjuna uvacha nashto mohasmritir labdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandehah karishye vachanantava. So Arjuna says what? Well, that was fun. Learning these 18 chapters, learning this Vidya in 18 chapters from you. Sorry, but I haven't changed my mind. Is that what he says? No. What does he say? He says, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do exactly as you say. Why? Nashto mohaha. My delusion has completely evaporated. Smritir labdha. I have remembered myself and my purpose in this life. And Tvat prasadat, because of your grace, I have recalled myself, my sense of purpose, what I am supposed to do, all this I know. And then the karishye. So gata sandeha asmi. Gata sandeha means all my doubts have bid me goodbye. They are no longer there. They have waved goodbye and gone away. Karishye vachanam tava. Now there is no pratibandha and no more questions. Nothing to stop me from doing your words. Because see, as soon as you hear Arjuna Uvacha, you wonder if he is asking one more question. No, this time no more questions. He says, I am at peace. My doubts have gone, and whatever you want, I will do. And then Sanjaya, who we forgot all about, is back. There is a narrator, and Sanjaya inserts himself as at the conclusion and says what? Says that, okay, now this kind of a dialogue that makes the hair stand on end, that causes horripilations, and then this we have been very fortunate to hear. We means he and Dhritarashtra, but actually we can say we also, all of us are very fortunate to hear. And then he says, I keep rejoicing. I keep rejoicing again and again, listening to this wonderful dialogue, and which has come to an end, which is coming to an end. But what will never come to an end is what I carry in my heart. Its purport I carry in my heart, O King Dhritarashtra. I will never forget this, and I am transformed by this, not just Arjuna. And then one more thing I want to say before we do the last verse. Let's go to that place. Sarva Dharman Parityajya, 66. Yeah. So, Ma Shuchaha. Ma Shuchaha means do not grieve. This is considered to be the last teaching verse of the Bhagavad Gita, because open to chapter 2, verse number 11. What does it say? Ashocyan anvashochastvam. You are grieving over that which must not be grieved. The topic that was started there is now concluded with Ma Ashuchaha. Do not grieve. There also do not grieve. Here also do not grieve. That do not grieve was the Upodghata, the beginning, the pratigya, the Mahapratigya, the thesis statement of the teaching that was to unfold. And this do not grieve is what? Upasamhara. What is Upasamhara? Conclusion, the ending, Mangalam. And so, with that the Bhagavad Gita ends, and Sanjaya ends it very, very beautifully. The last verse says, Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutihi, Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. Wherever there is a teacher like the master of Karma Yoga. Who is that? Bhagavan Krishna. Where Bhagavan Krishna like teacher is there, and where a student like Arjuna, humble and ready to learn and present, where that person is there, and as a student, and Bhagavan himself is the teacher, then three things are there for sure. What are they? Read and tell. Yeah, Tatra Shrihi. Read in the order. Shrihi means what? Shrihi, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is not just money. Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, goddess of prosperity. Prosperity in thinking. That miserliness in thinking, because of that we perish. But here, you can think big, and the presence of Lakshmi in the heart allows you to think big, allows you to not just have miserly ways of being. And that is very, very important to understand. I am the biggest of all, I am Brahman. So, that Lakshmi in the form of happiness. Happiness is Lakshmi. Knowledge is also Lakshmi. Happiness is Lakshmi. And then what else? Abundance in food, Lakshmi. So Shrihi is Lakshmi. Lakshmi in all her various form abides wherever this kind of a combo. What is the combination? A student like Arjuna and a teacher like Lord Krishna. When that combination is there, definitely Goddess Lakshmi presides over this combination, because there is no scarcity in any form allowed. Why? The knowledge of the limitless is what? Limitless. So that limitlessness is Lakshmi alone. The word Lakshmi hi means self-shining resplendence. That is what it means. Luster means Lakshmi. And then Tatra Shrihi, then Vijayaha. Vijayaha means victory is assured. Everybody is assured of victory. And what is it that I have to conquer over? My own Ragadveshas, who are inimical. My own Rakshasas. And my own Tamas and Rajas. These are my enemies. These are the things I have to conquer. And with this kind of a student, with this kind of a teacher, that conquest is very easy. The war is a walkover. And all this, in all these kinds of battles, I am victorious. Vijayaha, what else? Bhutihi. Bhutihi means all kinds of material gains and wealth in the short term. Why? Because if you have chosen moksha, everything comes. If you order, like sometimes what happens, if you order dosa, chutney and sambar come along. You didn't ask for it, but they come along. It's like that. You ask for moksha and all other glories also come for free. Tatra Shrihi Vijayaha Bhutihi Dhruvanitihi Matihi Mama. So this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Opinion means what? This is what is the fact. And then Nitihi means the unswerving justice. There will never be injustice in the life of a Vedanta student. There never will be. This is Sanjaya's promise. This is Sanjaya's promise after listening carefully to the Bhagavad Gita. So the one who devotes oneself to this knowledge, Bhagavan makes the room somehow to continue. Even if you have to do some hardships, Bhagavan will make sure that you reach the ocean of knowledge, just like the river goes to the ocean without fail. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasha Dhyayah. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Mamakah Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Okay, so now we can have some question answers. Are there any questions? Yes, give. And you can ask also, no problem. Give all to Kushal is collecting. Oh, he is still writing. Okay. How to deal with demands for attention from family and friends? When you understand that you need to focus more on your studies and feel a greater need for silence. I don't know how to communicate this without making them feel rejected. Wonderful question. Very nice question. Yeah. This is something all of you will face. Yeah, in 48 hours. Okay? So, good to have these kinds of questions, because this is an important question, because here you have lived basically a life of solitude. Yes, guilty as charged, I did go to Rudra and a few other places, that's fine, but still, more or less, it's been a protected life. You have not had to deal with many people, many things. Especially you have dropped the familial and the familiar responsibilities of living in a family situation. So this has been, if nothing, a very good break. Even if you did not understand a word of Gita, which I don't believe, or a word of any of the Upanishads we studied, which also I don't believe, but still you have got a break. And that break is a very sacred break. It's not just a vacation. It's not like, okay, I'm on vacay. What is that called? What is that? Karma Yoga vacation program. This is not what it is. It's not a Karma Yoga vacay. Okay? The vacation is for you to stabilize in this, so that when you go back, you are able to be compassionate, you are able to fulfill your roles without making everybody else upset, without having some kind of a feeling I am the best east or west, without becoming aloof and all, filled with Vedantic arrogance. So, how not to do that? Because that's very easy. I have stayed in an ashram, you haven't. I know this, you don't know. I studied three Upanishads, what do you know? Like all these things. Very easily one can get into that place. So, how to balance this act? How to know that I have been blessed with something here, and how to extend that for myself? So, this is a very good question. Now, let me see the wordings. So, you need more focus and you need more silence. Okay? Yeah. So, if you go to the family and say, Sab log chup raho, be quiet. Why? I am meditating. Where are you meditating? In a 1-bedroom flat where 10 other people reside. This being India. If this was America, this question would not have come only. Yeah. Because each person has their own apartment there. Yeah, whole suite, whole apartment is there. So in India, that's not the case. 10 people will be in one room, even though there may be other rooms. They like to hang out with you. And they say, we haven't seen you for 3 whole months. They follow you like a puppy. Wherever you go, there they are. Mary had a little lamb. Remember that? Yeah. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Yeah. If they follow you to school, Gurukula, then it's a different thing. Yeah, but that won't happen. They will just follow you everywhere. Wherever you go, they will follow you. And so you say, I need space, I need breathing space. What are you doing? This is the regular, what we call a tired old playbook of putting up a kind of a, what is that called? Putting up a kind of a impasse-like situation. And what is the impasse? You keep saying, I need silence, I need focus, I need to study. And what are they saying? I need you. This becomes an impasse. So therefore, we resort to Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Huh? What's that? Making the noises, including people who are noisy, making the noises part of the meditation. If you run away from the noises, what will happen? Noises will run after you. Correct? Yeah. It's like the Swami who came to Pujya Swamiji said, Rishikesh is very noisy. Okay, now at least we can say that. But this was 50 years ago, 60 years ago, he said Rishikesh is very noisy, when all that was here was a few animals and a few orange-clad beings. That's all that was here. Rishikesh is very noisy. Send me somewhere else to Uttarakashi. And Swamiji said, you are of aged years, you are elderly, and if I send you there, Bhiksha and all will be difficult. Here, Bhiksha is right close, you can get your food. No, send me there. And Swamiji made arrangements for him to stay a room in some ashram. And then there also he said, too many devotees are coming. I don't want to be here. 2 months later he was back. Send me to Gangotri. So he was sent to Gangotri. And there also he could not meditate. He came back in 2 months. He said, the birds are too noisy. They are chirping so loud I cannot meditate. I cannot be with myself. So we have to go to the technique. I'll tell you the technique and also the vidya. What is the vidya? The vidya is sarvatma bhava. I am that annoying person who is not leaving me alone. That person is me. If I get annoyed, that means the hook of this annoyance, the seed of this annoyance is here, not over there. So therefore, what should I do? What I should do is not try to get away from the source of an annoyance, make peace with the source of annoyance. So the technique, so this is the vidya. The technique is in and through somebody is talking, you see them as Bhagavan, you see the words as Bhagavan, and you see your need for silence as Bhagavan, and you see also there is no room for silence right now. That is also what? Bhagavan. Ishvara is everything. And then if you don't antagonize them and if you are silent and let them talk, after a while they will also run out of things to say. What else is there to talk? They will also feel like that. And they will start respecting you. They will start respecting you. And then if you say, I'm going to spend the whole morning or afternoon, evening, whatever you want to say with you, I would like to have 1 hour to myself. Is that okay? You can tell them. You're not asking their permission. You're inviting them on board. You're making them a participant in your life, and people love that because they don't want to lead their own life, they want to lead your life. So you can tell them, you can also tell them as soon as you go, I may be weird the first 2 days, don't worry, because I have come from here and this is how I will be. You can tell them that, you can prepare them, and then without being controversial, you can see if you can meditate on the words in and through the noises, in and through the activities. See if you can keep your center, and if it is difficult, you can say, after a while you can say, look, I need a little bit of space. This is how much time we'll spend together. Have a pact with them right at the start. This is what I will do for myself. Nothing wrong. Very beautiful question. Difference between Chit and Jnana Shakti. Chit means what? Chit is Sat Chit Ananda, sentience. Jnana Shakti is the ability to know. That ability to know is because of Chit, but Jnana Shakti is nothing but Chit. Chit is not Jnana Shakti. Then, next one. What do we know about Sanjaya? He is the only other person who gets the Vishwarupa without having to really even fight a war or anybody. Not even Yudhishthira or the other Pandavas did not get. Yeah, that shows he was a very dharmic person. He was a very dharmic person, non-controversial person. That's why he chose not to fight and became the TV for Yudhishthira. He became the narrator. That's why. Dhritarashtra, not Yudhishthira. Shuddha Dharma need an explanation. Shuddha Dharma is, where did you hear this? Where did you hear this expression, Shuddha Dharma? Mundaka Upanishad, So Shuddha Dharma means that which is uncontaminated by adharma. That is what it is, Shuddha Dharma. And describing the Jnani, probably it is being used. Then, do you have the verse where it comes? No? Does anybody have the Mundaka book? Sarva dharman parityajya. I told very clearly, sarva dharma is sarva karma. Karmani parityajya. It's not dharma at all. Okay? Yeah. So you haven't heard it. So please change your thinking. Sarva dharma is sarva karma. Viyoga, separation. Samyoga, union. Vibhakta, separated. Bhakta, united. Yes. Oneness with Swarupa, oneness with one Swarupa is the highest and true meaning of bhakti. Yes. Apareyam itastvanya prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho ya idam dharyate jagat. Everything is covered from, in the first part of Ashtadha Prakriti, from Bhumi to Ahankara. Yeah. What is this Para Prakriti? So, Apara Prakriti is the whole Jagat in the form of the, in the form of what? The manifest universe. Para Prakriti is Avyakta Maya, which has no beginning and is the cause of Apara Prakriti. In the 7th chapter, the twofold nature of Bhagavan is talked about. Let us discover where. Very beautifully it's said here. Very important verses also. Verse number 4 and 5. Verse number 5. Apareyam itastu anyam prakritim vidhi me param. Jiva bhutam mahabaho. This one. This exactly shows that these two, and then verse number 6 also very important. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani itu upadharaya aham kritsnasya jagatah prabhavav pralayas tatha. So all these beings have their origin in this twofold Prakriti. What is the twofold Prakriti? Apara Prakriti in the form of Parinami Upadana Karanam. What is Parinami Upadana Karanam? The raw material which perishes, which changes, which has a beginning, which has an end. And then Vivarta Upadana Karanam, that which does not change. So Avyakta in the form of Maya is called Para Prakriti, and whenever Parat Para is used, yesterday in the Mundakopanishad also we said Parat Paraha. So Parat Paraha, when you say, that means the first Para is not Brahman. First Para is what? Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti is there, and that Maya Shakti has to be overcome. How is Maya Shakti overcome? By gaining Atma Jnanam. You overcome Maya Shakti because the Avarna is no longer there. The covering is gone, and what remains is Vikshepa. Vikshepa Shakti does not cause problems. Why? Because it's Ishvara Srishti. Only Avarna, the covering of me from my own nature, causes problems. And so therefore this is the teaching here, is that Para Prakriti means the Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, which is latent at the time of Pralaya and active at the time of Srishti. In Pralaya, Ishvara doesn't come to an end, and then Maya Shakti also doesn't come to an end. She just both go into Avyakta, unmanifested forms. Both of them go to Avyakta, and then they, when the next cycle of creation comes, they come out. They come out to do their jobs. So one Prakriti is raw material, Parinami Upadana Karanam. The other Prakriti is the Shakti behind the raw material, that is unchanging and that is always there in a unmanifest form. That is what the two things are. Okay, any other questions? Oh, you found the citation? समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यत् अन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानम् इति वीतशोकः. Where is Shuddha Dharma? Shuddha Sattva is there, yeah. That came in the yesterday's class only. Yeah, Shuddha Sattva is there. In the Bhashya it's there. Yeah. So, sa evam preta tiryang manushyadi. What? Conference on Dharma? Anything you want to share? No? Okay. So, evam preta tiryang manushyadi yonishu ajavam javi bhavam apannaha kadachit aneka janmasu shuddha dharma sanchita nimittataha. Shuddha dharma is shuddha karma here. Yeah. Punya. Shuddha dharma means punya. Dharma, karma sometimes are used simultaneously, together, synonymously. As we are Bhagavan would be a way to get conscious of it, to affirm I am Bhagavan instead of I am. How should one act in... Okay, that's a different question. Okay. You can do that. I suppose you can say I am Bhagavan, I am Bhagavan. But you have to know what is the meaning of that Bhagavan. Otherwise we will get a hubris. And not only that, if you keep saying I am Bhagavan loudly, then everybody will slowly back away from you. They will slowly backtrack. Okay. So, we have to understand what is Bhagavan. Better to say I am Satchidanandam Brahma. So, I am, or you can say I am non-separate from Ishvara. That's better. So, that way the ego also remains in check. Then, how should one act in life to not objectify everything and then to be able to achieve self-conscious? Achieve self-conscious means?
We need to be conscious of ourselves and know that we are part of everything. We are not part, but we are.
Yeah. How should one act in life? Yeah. So, the easiest way is whenever you see, this applies only when there is a dissonance between myself and Jagat, myself and other jivas. When there is harmony, this is a question that is moot. We don't need to ask this at all. But when there is a dissonance, when I don't agree with somebody, or I feel like somebody is not agreeing with me, then only this question arises. So in that case, you see, first you don't react, we don't react, and we see first what they are saying, and then what else do we see? We see that if it is annoying to me, why is it annoying to me? You look for the seeds of annoyance here. You don't say this person is an idiot. Why is this person saying this or doing this? That's the easy way out. This is what we did before coming to the 3 months course. So now we have to do something slightly different. So what do we say? We say, look, okay, this person is causing a strong reaction in me. Let me not say anything. Let me go within. Let me observe. Let me see what is it that I have to do. What is it that I have to do? What is it that I have to overcome? Etc. Let me see. And from that place, let me go forward. And then sometimes the trigger is very clear. This person reminds me of another person who was a thorn on my side, or whatever it is. And then sometimes the triggers are not clear. Nonetheless, the seeds are over here. So what I have to do is to see that person behaved in a certain way because of his or her background. I too have my own background. And so when I don't need to know the other person's background. If I just say that this person has a background, that's enough. That's all. This person has a background, because of the background they are behaving a certain way. Nobody wants to lie. Really speaking, nobody wants to tell a lie. They tell a lie out of fear and helplessness. Nobody wants to take away your money. Why do they take away your money? Because a sense of insecurity and adharma. So this is how we have to reason. Doesn't mean that we are excusing their behavior, we are explaining their behavior. There is a big difference. Doesn't mean you are excusing the behavior, you are explaining the behavior, then you are objective, then you are able to see the behavior dispassionately, and from that standpoint you can decide what I need to say, what I need to do. Wrong idea to say things when one is angry. When you are angry, just leave the room, leave the situation, don't talk. Because otherwise what will happen? You will end up saying things that one regrets. So this is how to be more self-aware, more mindful all the time. Anything else? Yes?
So Krishna tells Arjuna that his duty is to fight. But if he were not to tell Arjuna to fight, perhaps Arjuna feels that the feeling of compassion that he has for the Kauravas, that this is the voice of Bhagavad, and that he should heed that, and then be compassionate is his duty. So, facing all the choices that we have in life, how do we know what is our duty?
Arjuna is told to fight. If Arjuna was not told to fight, perhaps he would have become a pacifist because of his compassion. And this argument we addressed in the beginning, and what did we say is that we know Arjuna. 12 years he was keeping the powder dry, so to speak. He and his whole family were very, very bloodthirsty. It was only after seeing who he had to fight against when that reality dawned on him, because Lord Krishna pushed the chariot to where all the elders were standing. That's when he lost the nerve to fight. So it's not that he suddenly became a pacifist, he lost his nerve because he was in the dharma sankata. He was in a difficult situation. So then if one is in a difficult situation like that, how to know what is my own ragadvesha, what is it that I want to do and what is it that is correct? The Taittiriya Upanishad says, consult somebody who is a role model in society. Do as they say, do as they do. And there might be many people who are role models, who are dharmic, who are upright, and who are dispassionate, and who will give you the correct advice. This is the time to seek advice from Guru, from other elders. And then otherwise, if you are in a pinch and you don't even have the time to text an elder, what you can do is put yes and no on 2 chits of paper and fold them identically, no peeking, no cheating, nicely shuffle it, put your question and put it on an altar, meditate, pick up one, but then you have to do as it says. Then you don't say, okay, best of 3, okay, I still didn't get what I want, best of 5, no. Don't drag it, because if you have to get best of 3, best of 5, that means you already know what you want to do. You don't need spiritual advice. But this always helps. Always helps. Sometimes 3-month course students are also chosen through this method. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you very much.